As you may have seen last year, we did a body basics section, how to paint your body with a basic truck body with a pre-cut masks. Well, guess what? You guys loved it. So we're gonna do it again, but this time we're gonna take a different spin on it. We're gonna make our own design, cut it out of masking tape, and go ahead and custom airbrush the whole design. Here we have an MBX6T body that I've already drawn up, cut out, taped off, and it's ready to be sprayed. First, what I did is I drew out all the lines I wanted with some scallops into some rips, with a rip part at the back, which I'm going to keep you guys informed of what we're going to do with that later on. I then taped it off with a Tamiya masking tape, or you can use liquid mask, whatever you'd like, and then you go ahead with an X-Acto knife, fresh blade, so it cuts the masking tape properly, and you cut out all that you want done, including the windows, so we can go really close with them. What I'm going to use here is a Badger Revolution brush, just to get some fading effects in on the rips we have in the back. It's always good to clean your tip out with a nice large blob to get the paint flowing to make sure there's no clogging. The way I'm going to shade this body is just in the bottom corner of the V-cuts, just to give it some depth. You can always overlap it on the tape, because when you turn it around you won't see that much. Now with our rip section at the back, I'm going to give it a little bit of definition. I'm just going to give it a little spray of black, nothing too dark, but just enough to define it from the rest of the line. For this color here, I'm just going to use an absolute basic single action airbrush. We're doing a wide spray pattern with a solid color. You can go ahead and use a hairdryer or a heat gun on a very low setting and just heat up the body gently until the paint starts to dry, so you can go ahead and apply your second coat where it's needed. You can go ahead and apply your second coat. Now that our second coat's done, we can go ahead and heat it with the heat gun again, and then we can peel off some more mask and get some more color laid down. You can buy these pre-cut stencils at Eliminator RC or some other hobby stores, and you can just airbrush around them to get the designs you want and rotate them, flip them, or buy the individual ones just to get the design that you need. For this, we're going to use our gravity feed brush again just to get the fine detail that we need. Now that we have the stencils laid down with our shadowing done, we can go ahead and move up into shadowing our scallop. Then we can throw some color on a skull collage and see what it really looks like. Now that I've gone and ripped off the center section for our scallops into our swoops, we can go ahead and start shading. I'm going to go ahead and use my gravity feed airbrush. Now that I've shaded everything I wanted to, and even put a little bit in the tops of the swoops, we can go ahead and put on our main color and apply the same color to the back with our skull collage. If you may notice, the red's a little bit light. If you're going to back it with a darker color, you should be careful. You should always put a white or a silver on just to stop it from bleeding through. That's okay, because with the scallops, it's going to go with the theme that I have planned, and you'll see what happens in the end. Now that we go ahead and have our scallops ripped off, we can go and we can add the shading into our scallops that we want to do. I'm going to start with an orange. Now that we've done all our orange highlights, we can go ahead and swap the color out and start with our other color highlights. We're going to go ahead and sneak the yellow in underneath the orange and fade it into the rest of the swoops. Now that all our yellow's filled in, we can go ahead, clean out the airbrush, throw down some white, and see what she looks like. Now that our white's all done and we peeled off our pinstripe, we're going to go ahead and lay down some chrome. We're also going to back the back of the red so it comes through like a candy apple red. You can't hit the chrome with a heat gun because it's almost like a foil when it dries, and it may disrupt it. Give it about 10 or 15 minutes to dry, and then you can go ahead and proceed with taking off your window masks and peeling off the outside coating. As you can see, we have a finished product. It just goes to show, with a little bit of creativity, you can do whatever you'd like. I am by no means a professional painter. I am confident with what I do, and I always try new things. Start small and simple, with a one-color paint job, or using some pre-cut masks. As you progress through the steps, you can get the technique going with the layers and how to shade them with an airbrush. Now you go have some fun designing your own body.